So hi, I wanted to talk about a new book that I've been reading. It's a book called Sacred Woman, and the author is called Queen Afua. She's a US writer and practitioner of women's health. Seek physical and emotional, mental wellness through the healing of our divine parts. So the healing of our divine parts she talks about, and just our whatever ailments we may be suffering from or going through externally or within our physical life is just a reflection or manifestation of what's happening internally. I mean, she does talk about women's gynecological problems such as hysterectomies, to be specific. So she speaks about women having to have those types of operations, having gynecological issues, and how that can be remedied, I suppose. She mentions the sacred womb. I mean, that's as far as I'm just looking at the sample version of the book. I will purchase it. There's a lot of information and what would you call it? There's a lot of wording that she puts in there, and she refers a lot to Egypt as well. So there's a lot of Egyptology knowledge that she's purporting about women's health. And so it's gonna it spans across all the generations as well. And I'm gonna have a reread of that information and then read the book in full, in more depth. But she's saying that whatever illness any woman is going through, whether it be mental or emotional or physical, reading her book and practicing her suggestions, she's making the affirmation that by the time you finish the book, you won't have those issues anymore. So I'm intrigued actually to find out. I came across this author listening to 19 Keys, and he mentioned her, so I thought, let me have a look. So from what I've read so far, it's really interesting, and it is a book that's just specifically for women, for black women, women who live within African regions, or regardless of faith, because there's many faiths within the diaspora. And Africa, yes, it is a continent, but we are descendants of that continent, and we live worldwide. So she's acknowledging that, and acknowledging that we are women of all ages. And so so she's talking about how we need to treat each part of our bodies, but she makes special reference to the womb. That's the seat of the universe, as she calls it, and just talking about ways to initiate well-being, foods, holistic therapies, I'm guessing, and she's talking about, she's done a lot of research. The reason I mentioned the Egyptology, as she does herself, is she's harking back to an age where we had this knowledge readily available as women, and it was passed down through word of mouth, through the written word, but as we've spread across the continent, we've kind of become disconnected, disjointed within ourselves, with each other. And so those messages, those words of wisdom have been lost or misreported, done extensive research and spoke to other women within her sacred circle to, I think she's been a practitioner many years, so she's quite experienced and knowledgeable in what she does. So she's written one of other books, and this one is, I guess, an introduction into what she does and how she can help. So I'm going to leave it here because I'm going to get the full version and continue reading. But I think it'd be very interesting to keep you up to speed on how it's going and if what she says is true. So it'd be very interesting. And definitely, take a look. I think it's a book that's quite popular in the US. And she's mentioned, people such as Erykah Badu, other spiritual women who are high profile, who are, keepers of this knowledge, of this sacred knowledge, passed down to us from our ancestors in the African diaspora, most notably Egypt. So definitely take a look if you can, even if you just read the sample and then see what you think. So I'm going to leave it here. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.